Okay. Yeah. Being able to swim and basically hug sharks. What a an eye-opening, like a window into how our energy, how we can influence one another and other species apparently by observation and understanding the different forms of language, right? So, I mean, like that's also part of QiGong, right? Learning the language of the body, learning the language of our emotional center, not just the language that we've humans have developed as a way of communication. Lots of different ways of communicating. So let's start communicating to our bodies by bringing our hands to the lower abdomen, drop the shoulders away from the ears, and let's do some nice, slow, deep abdominal breathing. Good morning, Ariana. Let's just dropping into our center. And really, this is our center. This is the center. So we're dropping into this part of our bodies, right? Down into the lower abdomen, the gut. We now know that our gut basically has its own brain. There's literally a nervous system. Like there's nerves, there's an intelligence there. So when they say you have a gut feeling, it might be a different form, but no less intelligent and informative. So we're breathing, allowing the diaphragm to descend, and it doesn't just happen in the front. The diaphragm is the whole circumference of the abdomen. So this whole umbrella drops down on the inhale, gently massaging all of these internal organs down here, allowing the lungs to expand. And then the exhale, the diaphragm ascends back up. Everything gets a little bit more space. So using the breath to calm the mind, to bring our awareness into the present moment, to give our organs a gentle massage, and to bring energy into the center all at once. Okay, so even just 30 seconds to a minute of slow, deep breathing can change our entire internal environment pretty dramatically. So, as a nice reminder. So, let's go into a version of spinal cord knocking on the door of life, part of spinal cord exercises. This is called bear walking. So, we're still knocking across the lower abdomen and the lower back, but there's a slight weight shift. So, we're just going to slide our weight over to the left foot and the right foot. So we come to the ball of the opposite foot. So, and in doing so, you'll notice that this hip gets a little bit of an opening stretch. So we're knocking across the lower abdomen, the lower back. We're just doing a slight weight shift, right foot to the left foot. So just a little bit of hip opening in this variation. Knocking across the lower abdomen on those key pressure points to stimulate energy, and our lower abdomen also gets another little bit of massage here as we knock across the abdomen and those lower abdominal organs, and let's come up just below the collarbone, opening up the lungs. A lot of people have had this like summer cold thing going on, respiratory infection. So giving some love to the lungs and our immune system. And then come all the way up to the top of the shoulders. And then come back down below the collarbone. And then back down to the waist. And then let's come just to the center. So we're no longer opening the hips, no longer weight shifting. We're just at the center. And then let's start to unwind. Okay, so next we're going to do a few flows and opening exercises for the shoulders and the heart center. So we're going to do spinal cord breathing, and we'll do some of the rotation. And then when we exhale, we're going to make the sound of the heart. That's the HAAAA. Again, sometimes the AirPods, the sound that I make for some reason or other don't always come across because the audio kind of goes out, but it's the HAAA sound. So it's inhale and look up. First, let's just stay front and center before we start incorporating the rotation. So inhale, look up. Exhale, curling forward, tucking the chin down. And then slowly inhale and exhale. So now on the exhales, we're going to make the sound of the heart. So inhale through the nose and then exhale. And then inhale. And inhale. Now this time it's inhale and turn to the left. And then come to the center as we exhale again. Inhale to the right. Come to the center. And again to the left. Center. And the right. Opening up, stretching the spine. And then clearing some of that tension, anxiety with healing sounds. Let's do one more to each side. And let your hands drop down. Let's just pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go into a wider stance, and this is a nice sequence to really open the shoulders. So if you've had any shoulder pain, if you had any surgeries in the past, this is a great way to facilitate mobility and really get the fluids moving in the joint capsules. So you're going to bend your right knee. So your foot's facing towards the side of the room. And you can walk that back foot out a little bit if you'd like, because we're going to come into a lunge. So that front knee is bent. The back leg is straight, maybe it's slight bend, but we're in a lunge so that our legs are facing or our knee is facing the right side of the room. And then you can either have your hand resting on your thigh or your elbow, one or the other, whatever feels good for you. And then we're just going to let the left shoulder drop down so that your chest is facing the earth. And then just shake out the arm. So you want the arm to be nice and loose, loosey-goosey. And then very slowly, we're going to inhale the arm out straight to the right and then windmill it all the way up to the ceiling, back towards the left side of the room, and then back down again. So the chest face. So basically, chest face is down as the arm comes in the front and then turns slightly. So the chest now is facing the front of the room as your arm comes up and all the way back down. So nice and slowly, we inhale all the way up and then exhale all the way down. So just slowly windmilling up and down. It's also a sneaky leg strengthening exercise as well. So again, if you can be a little higher, it's totally fine. You want that front shoulder just to be nice and loose. We're just opening the front of the shoulder, the back of the shoulder, getting those fluids moving. And then one more time, it's inhale. This time, keep your hand up towards the ceiling. Come to, if your elbow is resting, come up to your hand, and we're slowly going to come all the way up. Drop that arm down. Now we go to the opposite side. So now your left knee is facing the left side of the room. Come into, so bend that front leg, and that back leg is either at a slight bend, or you can be a little bit more straight. You never really want to lock the knees. And then again, either left hand on your thigh or left elbow. And then drop the right arm down so that you're shaking out your shoulder. And then inhale right in front to the side of the room. And then inhale all the way up, and then bring that arm all the way back down. So a nice big windmill. We're inhaling. So if anyone has not just, shoulder restriction, but just this is really good at opening up the space between the shoulders. And as we reach up, we're opening up the center of the chest, right? If we have tight pectoral muscles, if you've had any sort of respiration or respiratory illness and your lungs are a little more fatigued, this is a great gentle way of stretching the muscles in the pectoral area, which sometimes with a lot of coughing, all those muscles can get sore and tight. So just nice and slowly, we're inhaling all the way up, and then exhale down. And then let's do one more. And this time, keep your arm towards the ceiling. If your elbow is down, come to your hand, and then very slowly, like your hand is pulling you upright, come upright. And now both feet facing forward. Let's bring the hands to the center of the chest, and let's connect to the breath. So inhale, looking up, extending the arms out, and then exhale, collapsing the chest slightly in and looking down towards the earth. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. All right, let's bring the feet back to our neutral stance. And we're going to do a little chi massage. So this chi massage is going to be more about releasing energy from the heart center. So it's going to be focused on when we go down the inside of the arms like we normally do, our intention is going to be more clearing energy through the pericardium and heart channel that runs down the inside of the arm. And then we'll pause at the wrist, and then we'll flick. So what that looks like first is that we'll knock across the chest. So heart center, the pericardium is the wrapper, the actual muscle that is around the heart. And in Chinese medicine, it's the heart, it's more energetically the heart protector. So they're intimately linked. But now we're just opening up. And this is a great one to exhale out the mouth with the sound of the heart. Inhale. Now let's open up the hand and come to the front of the right shoulder. And we'll travel down following the pathway of the heart channel down the inner arm to the elbow, forearm. And now pause at the wrist. So you're grabbing your wrist with your opposite hand, and then your palm is open, and you're just going to, like you're brushing something off of your hand, but pretty vigorously as a way of clearing, cleansing any anxiety or agitation. We'll do that again now to the opposite side. So we'll start, stir and bring things up that we want to clear out first. And then we come to the front of the left shoulder, travel down the inside of the arm, following the heart and pericardium channels all the way to the wrist, and then pause, and then flick. Like we're sending it to the any anxiety or agitation to the earth to be recomposted, to be composted. And we'll do it a couple more times on each side. So this is a really great one to do if there's like heightened anxiety, maybe some, when there's excess heat in the heart, sometimes that also presents as a lot more vivid dreams or even nightmares. So if you wake up sometimes from a bad dream, can't fall back asleep, just doing a little bit of chi massage, opening up, clearing things out by tracing the pathway down, and then flick. And then come to the center of the chest again. And then over to the left. Come down to the wrist, and then and we'll do that one more time to each side. Coming over to the right, and then down, and then flick, and then back to the chest. I really love this one. Coming to the front of the left shoulder, down to the wrist, and then flick. And then just bring your arms down to your sides and close your eyes for a moment. You might maybe notice a little sparkling type of energy throughout the chest, down the arms, into the hands. Where are we? Okay. I think let's do some shaking with the heart sound before we go into our flows. Let's just shake everything out now. So bouncing, I'm wearing the wrong pants today, if you can't really see. Bouncing in the knees, getting a little pump action, shaking the wrist. And then let's bring the hands to the sides, and then all the way overhead. And take a nice inhale and exhale with the sound of the heart. And then down to the sides, inhale. And then exhale. And all the way down, inhale. And now we'll just you can make the sound now, but make it more internal. So maybe even whisper, or even just make the sound in your own head. And then start to slow down. Okay. Now let's start our flows. We're going to start with open the flow today. And because it's simple, but also I like it because it's easy to, I think it's easier to kind of drop into a meditative state because of the simplicity of it. So while the first half of the classes, as we know, are more about activating and we're moving our own energy, think about when we go into these flows, that energy is now circulating and is now moving you. I know that might sound strange, but let's keep the arms down by your sides. Keep a little bend in the knees. And then as we inhale, the arms just float up to shoulder height. And then exhale, they float back down. So think about doing less, but achieving more, right? We can achieve these real connected meditative moments, not by doing, but by relaxing and sort of letting go of the need to do, right? And just be, allowing the inhale to come in, spread that energy, the arms float up, and then exhale. We tend to be a species of human doings, right? Instead of human beings, right? So how do we kind of cultivate our ability to really be present and feeling that deep state of relaxation and connection? And allowing ourselves to move almost effortlessly, like something's moving through us. It's the same energy that is beating our hearts. We don't have to tell our hearts to beat. There's an energy, there's a inherent energy and flow that is just there. And then we can recognize that, oh yeah, our heart's beating. Or we don't tell our digestive system to release enzymes and all the things that break down the food or absorb the food and make new cells. So all of that, that is the same energy, right? The animating energy of life. So relaxing into that deep intelligence that we have. We don't always have to think our way through life. We're going to take that sort of real deep state of relaxation and having energy kind of moving through you so that we're fully attentive and present, but in a deep state of relaxation. We're moving with this effortlessness. So we bring that effortlessness into the other movements that might be a little more intricate. So we're going to move into something called embrace the wind, caress the moon. So let's bring our hands down. So we start the movement on the exhale. So we just inhale the center, exhale, the hands glide apart, turn to the palms face up. And then as we inhale, bring your fingers in towards the midline. And then the back of the hands come down. And then we roll up, bring the hands to about solar plexus, and then spill. So the hands come up and then around again, back around. Now the back of the fingers come together as we come up to the solar plexus again. So the fingertips are, the back of the fingers are together. And then exhale, drop the hands down, bring them out in front of you, and then up to your forehead. And then you're going to inhale your hands back down. So that's a lot of movements, but we'll go through it all again. That's the whole sequence. So again, we start on the exhale. Exhale the hands apart, palms up, and the hands circle into the midline. So the fingertips are pointing towards your waist. And then the back of the hands come together. Roll the spine as the hands come up and then spill forward. And then the back of the fingers come together as we roll up again to the solar plexus area. Then exhale, drop the hands down and make a big circle in the opposite direction. So out and then back up to in front of the forehead. And then we inhale. So I'll go through the breath now. So we start on the exhale. Inhale, the hands, the fingers come in. And then as we bring the back of the hands together, we start the exhale as we spill forward. And then inhale, the back of the fingers together, come up to the solar plexus. And then exhale, the hands drop back down and make a big circle. And then we inhale. So we're actually going to inhale here as the hands come down, like we're rising up out of the murky waters. Exhale. Hands are facing up as we inhale right in. Think about bringing energy into the chi belt. And then the back of the hands come together as we roll up and then spill forward. And as the back of the fingers come up the midline, think about bringing energy into that solar plexus area. And then exhale in a reverse circle in front of the forehead. That's the exhale. And then inhale. Exhale. Circle the hands. Inhale. Back of the hands together as we start the exhale as we spill forward. And then inhale the back of the fingers to come together as we rise up. Exhale, drop the hands down, out in a big circle in front of the forehead. And then inhale. Exhale, spread the fingers. This time as we inhale, so the fingers still come in, let's pause here. So the fingertips are facing your waist. Think about pumping energy or inhaling energy into the chi belt, this center channel. We'll pause at 3 different levels here. This is the first one. And then we'll bring the back of the hands together as we exhale forward. And then the back of the fingers come together as we inhale up to the solar plexus. And let's pause here. So this whole area, the solar plexus area, is where we take action from. It is how we put our wants and desires into fruition. Hopefully, with the connection to the heart, putting into action the things that we love, like bringing that joy out and manifesting. And then exhale, drop the hands down, come all the way around in front of the forehead, the third eye. Bring your elbows slightly forward so that your fingertips are pointing towards your forehead. Right? And imagine that there's this shimmery moonlight, like creating that luminescence in our mind, our consciousness. Right? This is the moon. The moon does not have its own light. We see it as a reflection of the sunlight. So think about the moon clarity, that moon energy in our clear consciousness. And then take a nice inhale and exhale. And on the next inhale, let's drop the hands down again. So we'll do that whole cycle a few more times. So inhale, Exhale the hands out, fingers face up as we inhale into the center. Exhale as the back of the hands come together and we roll forward. And then inhale up the center line to the solar plexus. And then the reverse circle. So drop the hands down, extend the arms forward, and then back up in front of the head. And then slowly inhale as we merge. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, spilling forward. So a little circle forward, and then inhale to the center, and then drop the arms down. Exhale, excuse me, forward, and then inhale. Exhale, bringing the hands into the chi belt. Exhale, we spill anything we want to send to the earth. And then back of the fingers come together up the center. And then exhale back down and around. And inhale. Let's do it one more time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, spill forward. Inhale up the center. Exhale, reverse that circle as the arms float back out and then in front of the forehead. And then inhale back down to the center. Let's pause here at our chi ball. And then let's bring the palms so they're facing up, just connecting to the space above. So feeling maybe there's a little energy in the palms of your hands as you drop the hands down and raise them back up. You might notice even more sensation. And then now as we inhale, we're going to lift the palms all the way up and then bring the hands behind your head. Tuck your chin down. I'll turn sideways so you can see me. So your hands aren't touching your head, they're behind your head, coming down to about the neck level, and then bring the hands to the sides of the neck and to the front, and then palms face up. So this is a way of energetically clearing any residual anxiety or agitation from the mind, from the shoulders, from the neck. We're not actually touching, but we're sending our beautiful Buddha palms energy into those areas. So again, we're going to when we inhale and raise the hands, look up. And then as the hands come to the back of the head, you can start to drop your head down so the chin tucks in as the hands trace the back of the head and the neck, come to the sides. Think about clearing all that tension away. Actually, this time, let's push forward on the exhale. And then palms face up. We're going to scoop up, look up. And then again, the hands come to the back of the head as the chin tucks down. Bring the hands to the sides, the back of the neck, the sides of the neck, the front of the neck, and then push forward. We're pushing off, pushing out any of that tension. And then again, inhale up, look up. Bring the hands to the back of the head, chin tucks down. Bring the hands coming around the sides to the front. And then pushing forward. And then inhale. Tucking the chin, bringing the hands from the back around slowly to the front. Energetically imagine that you're releasing any tension, anxiety, stress the energetic backpacks, all that weight that we often carry. We're just inhaling and then allowing all of that to melt away. Exhaling, pushing forward. Inhale, one more time. Exhale, clearing, sending to the earth. Let's do that one more time, actually. I really love this one. Inhale, tucking the chin in as we start to release all of that tension, releasing the neck, the shoulders, the mind, the heart center. Exhaling forward, and then bring your hands back down to our chi ball for a moment. And then drop the hands down. And let's go to pulling down the skies to the 6 directions. So we're going to inhale the arms to the sides. You're going to turn to face your left. So the arms are still extended to the sides. Then, as we're turned to the left, the hands come all the way above your head. Then come to the center. And then exhale the hands all the way down. Inhale the arms to the sides. Exhale, turn to the right. Continue to bring the arms up as we inhale all the way, then come to the center and then exhale. So there's a little bit of a pause at the top of the inhale. So we inhale to the sides, exhale, turn to the left, inhale all the way up. At the top of the inhale, pause as we turn to the center and then exhale all the way down. And then inhale, exhale over to the right. Inhale all the way up. The very top of the inhale, pause before we exhale, come to the center, and then exhale. And inhale, exhale over to the left. Continue to inhale the arms all the way up. Pause, come to the center, and then exhale. And then inhale, turn to the right. Inhale all the way up to the center. We'll do this one more time to each side. Inhale, turning to the left. Inhale all the way up. Come to the center and exhale. And inhale, turn to the right. Inhale, come to the center and exhale all the way down. And hold on to our chi ball one more time. We did a lot of work clearing the heart, clearing the energy, the pathways, opening the hands, kind of shaking off what we need to shake off. You might feel a lot more energy in your palms, and maybe not, and that's okay. And then let's bring the feet together, and we'll end with centering. So the fingers are pointing towards one another. Let's inhale the right arm out to the side, all the way until we're right above the head, and then exhale down the center line of the body. And then inhale the left arm out all the way right above the head, and then exhale down the center. And again, the right inhale and exhale. And inhale the left And exhale. Let's do that one more time to each side. Inhale the right arm out. And exhale. And the left arm. And then let's bring both hands below the belly button and let's pause here for bamboo in the wind. All of you bamboo people, feeling that real deep connection, right? Our feet are on the earth. Sometimes we might feel like we're floating around untethered, but this is a reminder that our feet are, unless we're flying in the air, our feet are connected to the earth. Feeling the solidity of the physical body, but also the weightlessness, the freedom in the heart center. And the spaciousness of the mind. And when you're ready, you can crack your eyes open. And that concludes our class. Thank you to everyone for joining me. It was good seeing all of your faces, as always. Cynthia, I hope you're feeling better. Ariana, it's good to see you. Carrie, thanks for the info about the sharks. And
Thank you
Cynthia
very much.
H, I'm glad were able to join us also. And Mom, love you.
Thank you.
All right. I hope everyone has a really great weekend. Rest up, stay hydrated. Rest. Sleep if when we're supposed to sleep, sleep. And hopefully you're feeling really good in your bodies, and I will see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.